Hi, everyone. Welcome to my podcast, From Bounce Checks to Private Jets. My name is Hazel, and I'm so happy to be with you today. Today, we'll be talking about overcoming obstacles and adversity. In my story that I wrote, I talk about growing up poor in Los Angeles in the 1980s. By the time I was born, my parents were already separated, and the majority of the time, my mom was a single mom with 4 young children. She was in her 20s and struggling financially, struggling emotionally, and just not making ends meet. We grew up not having enough food, not having enough clothes. We would have to share clothes amongst the 5 of us, the 4 sisters and my mom. There was always fights at my house because there wasn't enough food. If my mom would go to the market and bring home a cereal box, we would finish it in one sitting because you better get yours or there's not going to be enough later. And our clothes, we went shopping to secondhand stores. It wasn't something that we had regular new things. We didn't. We went to secondhand stores even to get our toys. And most of the time, we didn't even have toys. My mom would sometimes shoplift toys from the secondhand store. That is how poor we grew up, right? We were on welfare and paying for food with food stamps. And everyone else in my neighborhood was in the same situation. Everyone in my neighborhood was suffering from not just being poor, but violence. We grew up in a time where there were a lot of gangs and drive-by shootings. So we were also concerned about being in a situation where there's a fight or there's a drive-by shooting. So our lives were literally in danger. So during that time, every day was like overcoming an obstacle, right? Where's the food coming from? What am I going to wear? I don't even have clean clothes for school. And I'm fighting not just with my neighbors, I'm fighting with my mom, I'm fighting with my sisters. I don't know how to get along with them. Eventually, though, everything changed because I wanted more for my life. I could have just given up and stayed in my apartment building. Some of my friends still live there, have families there. I wanted more. I wanted to have a better life. And because of that, I got a job at a law office where I thought that I could get paid a little bit better than I would if I was working at McDonald's or a department store. This is a place where I could actually grow and ask for more money while I was working there. There was room for advancement, and that's what I wanted. I didn't want to just get by. I wanted to live a nice life. And I did that. I worked at a law office and I started entry level. And what I did was I took classes and I figured out what my bosses would want to see so that they can give me a raise. And I went and I took classes and I learned all about the area of law that I was working in. And then I would ask for a raise. And as I was doing that, I was improving my lifestyle. I changed apartments, I bought a car, I got a better car. My circle of friends changed. I did a lot of things that changed my life for the better. And education was a big one. And I went to school. In spite of not having a high school diploma, I went back to school in my late 20s. I found value in education, and I used education as a vehicle to get out of poverty. And little by little, I started overcoming these obstacles that were coming up in my life. I know that some people have worse obstacles and adversity than I did, and I also had worse obstacles and adversities than most people. But I find that if you can dream and want something better for yourself, it doesn't really matter. You can change your situation no matter where you are and what that is. Focus on gratitude, focus on where you want to go. So when I was broke, I started focusing on that I at least had a place to live. At the beginning, when I had my own apartment, I was so grateful and focused on the safety of my apartment, that I didn't live in the gang neighborhood anymore. I was still in poverty and I was still living in a neighborhood that was poor, but at least there were no gang members there. So I started focusing on what was good in my life, right? My neighborhood was bad. One day somebody broke into my car and stole my brand new radio that I installed. And my friend saw that and she's like, "Oh no, Hazel, they broke your window and they stole your radio." And all I could focus on was like, thank God my car is still here. So if we focus on what's working rather than what's not working, we start to change our mindset and we start to become resilient. Overcoming obstacles is what makes you resilient. If you don't go through these things, you don't know how to handle life and you will always stay small. So let's not make wrong what's going on. Let's focus on what is going on that you like, and then little by little, and then big actions will take place and you will see that you too will transform your life. That is the secret. Go through the problems, go through the adversity and all the obstacles, and you will come out on the other end of it a better person, stronger, more resilient, able to take on more responsibility, more adventures, more of everything. But you will be capable because you would have that resilience. You would have that muscle already worked. I hope that helped. These are some tools that I want to share that helped me on my journey, and I hope it helps you. If you like my message, please like my page here and share it with your friends and subscribe. Thank you.